So rewrite the following in graphing form. We're going to use completing the square to do that. So we want to isolate our x's. And now we do b over 2 squared. So now we're going to add the 4 and subtract the 4 inside the parentheses. This will always factor. So a times c, you get 4 factors of 4. That add to negative 4 is negative 2 and negative 2. So factor by grouping. So this becomes x minus 2 squared. And then the parentheses drop. Negative 4 plus 4 is that. And so we wrote this in graphing form. Now, we haven't really fully looked at an example of this just yet, but we can actually do this to circle equations. How do I know it's a circle equation? I see both an x squared and a y squared. So for us to do this, we want to group together our x's and y's. So I'm going to rewrite this with my x's, and then I'm going to give myself some space. I'm going to rewrite it with my y. And then we don't need this number because remember the formula for a circle, there's some number on the other side. So because there's some number on the other side, I can actually bring that $163 over to the other side. And now what we're going to do now is complete the square for both the x's and the y's. So b over 2 squared. So that's 13 squared, which is 169. So I'm going to add 169 and subtract 169. This factors a times c. Factors would be 13 and 13. So this is x minus 13 squared. And when you go and factor it, I can add the 169 to both sides. And then now I can do the same thing for the y, b over 2 squared. So I can add and subtract 9. This will factor. A times c, 9 factors of 9 that add to 6 is 3 and 3. So this becomes y plus 3 squared. And I can add the 9 to both sides. And so you're going to get x minus 13 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals, and now I can start combining this stuff together. So this gives me 6. 6 plus 9 equals 15. We can look at another one. So remember, we want to group the x's together. Give myself some space here. So group the x's together, give us some space, group the y's together, and then I can bring that to the other side, so equals negative 193. So now I can do b over 2 squared. So b over 2 squared, that's negative 14 squared. So we use a calculator for that to find what that's going to be. So that's going to be 196. And then now a times c, 196, factors of 196 that add to 28 will be negative 14 and negative 14. So this will become x minus 14 squared. I can add the 196 to both sides. So that becomes 3 so far. And now do b over 2 squared. So I'm going to add the 1 and subtract the 1. A times c, you get 1. So you're going to get y plus 1 squared. And I can add the 1 on the other side. So now that's going to add to 4. So your final answer So just know you can use this completing the square also to turn circle equations in this general form into standard form. Nifty trick. So factoring a times c, negative 24. Factors of negative 24 that add to 2, 1 and 24, no. 2 and 12, no. 3 and 8, no. 4 and 6, positive 6 and negative 4, yes. So this breaks into minus 4m plus 6m minus 24. The minus 4 and the 6 come from my factors. We can do factor by grouping, so factor out an m. And then over here there's a 6. And so I can rewrite this as m plus 6 times m minus 4. And that's my answer. Now for some difference of squares here. Remember, this follows the pattern a minus b squared. That's a plus b times a minus b. So this is 5x and this is 2y. So that's 5x plus 2y. And then 5x minus 2y. Once you find a and b, just plug it in. This is 3c, and this is 10d. So it would be 3c plus 10d, 3c minus 10d.